Fabio Aurelio, Ayala, Curro Torres, all the rest of them wait with their Valencia teammates to make their way out into the middle of the Bernabeu in Santiago for the start of this big match. Real Madrid against Valencia, straight into the starting lineups. And look at the Real Madrid team. Stars right across the park. Figo out on the right. Zidane is there. Raul, who's been in goal-scoring form. And the king of them all, Ronaldo. What a mighty team. And this has the hallmarks of a terrific showdown in front of a mighty crowd here at the Santiago Bernabeu. 77,000. Magnificent crowd as they wait on the Valencia players to make their way out. As we have a look at that Valencia lineup, Carboni back in the side out left, Baraja, Rufette's been in good form out on right, Aymar, Fabio Aurelio has moved forward with the return of Carboni, and Carew up front, of course. And look at the pools of water as the players make their way out into the middle. There's been quite a bit of rain leading up to this match. At the moment it's dry, and we keep our fingers crossed that it's going to be that way right throughout, because Robbie Slater, this should be one heck of a game.
Well, this is certainly one of the games of the season so far. Second playing third, the champions visiting Real Madrid, somewhat surprise champions last season. Real Madrid were expected to take it out, but Valencia did, and the talent on show from both sides is really a mouth-watering prospect.
They're both striking form now, second against third on the Spanish league table. Real Madrid didn't really have a quiet new year. They had to play their delayed round 12 match against Sevilla. Vicente del Bosque, it's a sad moment for him. His mother, Maria Carmen Gonzalez, passed away just 24 hours ago. It must be an awfully difficult time for him, fronting up for a big match like this so soon after the passing of a loved one. You can see the bloodshot eyes. There wouldn't have been much sleep over the last day for the Real Madrid boss. And I'm sure the players will bear that very much in mind. They'll be doing their best to just put a little sunshine back in the life of their coach. The man in charge, Alfonso Pino Zamorano. Big moment for him as well. This is a terrific league we've been covering, the Spanish league. Many believe it's the best in the world. I'd like to see any that better it. And the matches don't come much bigger than this. Real Madrid against Valencia. And when you think of it, Rob, it's not just two teams going well, it's the Champions League holders against the Spanish champs.
That's right, and as I said, mouth-watering. And talking about water, there's a fair bit on the pitch, so that's gonna play its part. But great to see both these sides pretty much at full strength, Mike. So really, as we see Ronaldo there, is going to play a big part, you would think, today. But the front line of Real Madrid, Raul, Ronaldo, Zidane and Figo.
And now the crowd's about to be asked to observe a moment's silence in respect to the passing of Vicente del Bosque's mother. The Real Madrid players all wearing black armbands in honour of 86-year-old Maria Carmen Gonzalez, whose funeral will be held in about 5 days' time. So the match is underway, and what a beauty we have in store. The orange shirts of Valencia. I mentioned Carboni is back. They'll be pleased about that, regaining the veteran out at left back. There's plenty of water around. Look at the ball just staying almost on the same spot. Under normal circumstances, conditions like this, you'd say, well, it does nothing for the match as a spectacle. But there's so much class, so many internationals in both these teams. I think we can expect a pretty good showing nonetheless. Roberto Carlos, mid-air shot. Zidane is there. You would have played in conditions like this once or twice, Rob.
Certainly did, and it certainly evens it up.
Raul, as I mentioned, terrific goal-scoring touch of late. Figo.
And you look at even the simple passes there. It'll be very, very difficult, especially the defenders are going to have to be on guard with their passing, back passes to the goalkeeper. And the thing on this sort of field, Mike, is you need to lift the ball as much as possible.
Zidane. Well, you can't take away the skill, can you? Pablo Aimar. He's got plenty of it as well. Subject of some discussions as to whether he'll still be at Valencia next season. There's Zidane in that battle there with Pablo Aimar. Big crowd, noisy crowd, as I mentioned. Capacity for this ground over 100,000, but it's around about 3/4 full despite that driving rain we had leading up to it. And now, Curo Torres. Back it goes though. Makaleli. Figo. They just have to stop and prop and make sure they don't overrun the ball. Very difficult out there. Lovely touch though. Oh, Ronaldo! Wasn't far away from the left boot. Makaleli. Gee, Zidane's having plenty of the ball in the opening 3 minutes. Conceição.
Well, normally that would have stopped in a puddle, but there's the one spot on the ground where there isn't one. Figo's not happy. Tried to lay it in front of him. So we see Zidane here and Pablo Aimar asking the question. No foul was given.
We've seen Valencia quite a bit this season. It's the first time we've seen them in the orange strips, though. Carew being pulled down. As I mentioned, Zidane is just all over the ball at the moment, and he really has struck form, the French champion. All the way back for Casillas. As I mentioned, Real Madrid played Sevilla only a matter of 3 days ago. That was that delayed round 12 match due to Real Madrid's commitments in Asia. 3-0 the result there. Raul, Conceição and Zidane all scoring. And I think a concern for Vicente Del Bosque is that they will have recovered sufficiently from that match. Little deflection on its way back to Casillas. It was a bruising encounter as well. Michel Salgado has started out here, but he was stretchered off in the match, and he was in some sort of doubt coming into this game. Zidane splashing his way through. Aimar.
that's where it's going to be difficult for Valencia. Carew playing up there pretty much by himself. Pablo Aimar will drop off, as he did just then. And when he does drop off, that really only leaves Carew up there by himself. It's a difficult task, but Valencia will make it hard for Real Madrid. They have their block of 4 in the midfield and 4 at the back, whereas Madrid drift, don't they? You got Zidane, he can pop up anywhere. Figo quite often comes over to the left, with Raul and Ronaldo on point.
I must say the 4 at the back, as far as Valencia are concerned, they don't come a whole lot better. Carboni, Ayala, Pellegrino and Curo Torres have given them great service this season, but they are going to be tested against all those superstars that Robbie mentioned a moment ago. Aurelio. There will be plenty of tired legs by the completion of the first half, let alone by the full 90. Needn't have run in the end. It stopped. Stopped in a pool. Curo Torres.
Well, there's no doubt that ball normally would have run out.
Long ball from Figo. Right idea, keeping it off the ground, off the water. All the way down there for Andre Palop. Palop, incidentally, continuing to start, despite the fact that Santi Canizares is now regarded as fit to resume. He injured his knee before Christmas. Palop, you'll recall, played in the match against Deportivo, did make a horrible mistake that cost his side a goal. And indeed, the only goal of the match. Apart from that, he did pretty well. Unfortunately, goalkeepers are remembered for their mistakes. And there he is, still out there, despite the fact that Canizares, you would think, will return in the not too distant future. It's good work. Great run there by Conceição under the conditions. Zidane. Oh, good. Roberto Carlos. Back it goes for Makaleli. Carlos again. Oh, brilliant work. And not a bad attempt.
Oh, wonderful play, wasn't it?
It was sensational.
Roberto Carlos, you thought the first ball that came across he might have hit. Here he throws 2 dummies. And the strike was definitely going in. That's a good save from Palop.
Perhaps a right footer, after all of that good work, may have made a slightly better fist of it, just given the angle. But what wonderful skills by Roberto Carlos from the corner. Well, cleared away. The header came in from Hierro. Worth another look, surely. And at that point, maybe if Carlos was a right footer right then, things may have been different. Terrific work. It's going to be tough in the midfield. Makaleli. Roberto Carlos. Not quite sure what the conditions were for that Sevilla match, but you can only hope for Real Madrid's sake it wasn't like this, because they will be very tired by the end of the game if that's the case. Rufete.
Rufete goes for a bit of a swim, and that's certainly a difficult part of the pitch. And Rufete very important to Valencia.
Well, I mentioned at the start of the match that at that time it was dry. It's raining again, and this pitch doesn't need any more rain. And now Real Madrid on the burst. What a shot from distance, Raul, who has struck just 3 days ago against Sevilla. In fact, he's scored now, what, 6 goals in the last 4 matches.
Wonderful skill and a good second touch. Set up really well for him. You would have expected Raul to hit the target from there.
Real Madrid making all the running in the opening moments. Albelda copping some heavy treatment.
Well, that's a real battle as well in the middle of the park there. Albelda up against Makaleli, Conceição.
Carboni, well, the pass going astray, and this opens things up for Zidane. Poor strike there from Zidane, though, letting him down with a pass.
Here's the other important one, Baraja.
Carew. What do they say about the rain in Spain, Rob?
Mainly on the
pitch, I think. Curo Torres. Carew. They won't bundle him out of the way easily. Aymar, back it goes to Carew, but no room to move. And I guess the problem is with the ball just drowning out there, you can't really do much in close with the skills either. It's not a time for nimble feet. Zidane goes backwards. For Ronaldo, just a little too long.
Great ball from Figo with the outside of his right foot. Look at that. And he's onside. And the ball skidding away. And Palop doing well. Coming off his line very quickly. Equal. Should be onside there.
Who are you going to tip anyway, Rob? We didn't get round to that. Who do you think's going to be on top after 90?
Oh, you've got to fancy Real Madrid at home.
Slow to start the season, but things are starting to fit into place for them. Their form over the last few weeks has been impressive. In fact, their last 10 matches, they've won 5, drawn 4, just the 1 defeat.
See, he's clearly onside.
Yep. Long ball in towards Zidane. Ronaldo was lurking. Clearance there from Curo Torres. Carew.
He was trying to pick out Aymar there. Made a great run from midfield.
I think Roberto Carlos indicates that he was being held for a moment. Has the ball. Makaleli. Oh, it almost got through. Carboni. Brilliant work again. Ronaldo had it taken away. Rafetta did well. Aymar. get around Roberto Carlos. Good enough to hold on to the ball. Coro Torres loves it from here. Squares it up. Not quite. Still there, though, for Valencia. Not quite as far as Baraja. That was where it was intended. Brilliant work. It didn't quite find its way out there from Raul.
Well, that was a good move from Valencia, wasn't it? Some good work from first Ruffetti, then Aymar, released Torres. As we see Ruffetti here, getting back, nicking the ball off Ronaldo. And the cross from Torres, very close to Carew, who has certainly got the height advantage.
He's a big man at 1.97 centimetres. Must be just about the tallest player in Spanish football, maybe European football. I'll get Robbie to check on those stats in a moment. All the way down to 4th division, Rob. Casillas, yes, 15 goals conceded in 15 matches. So that's been a pretty consistent effort. Real Madrid have scored 32, so their goal difference is substantial, plus 17. Valencia plus 16. Both these teams very dominant. In fact, over the last 4 matches, Real Madrid's wins have been by 5-1, 4-2, 3-2 and 3-0. They've scored 15 and conceded 5 in 4 matches. Entertaining football. Raul. Figo. Oh, still going. Chips it over the top. Oh, it wasn't bad. Terrific skills.
He's going outside, inside. Carboni doesn't know where he's going, and that's a big deflection there. Great wing play from Figo. So positive.
Those old legs of Carboni really being tested. The 37-year-old legs. Oh, at the back. Still a chance. Carlos.
He hit his own player, Hierro.
Aymar. They're looking the better team. They're certainly looking the more attacking team at the moment, Real Madrid. Yellow card coming out. Makaleli, kind words, Christmas greetings, Happy New Year, all of that sort of thing means nothing for Alfonso Zamorano. From the halfway, Aymar having a wonderful season for Valencia. Carew, back it goes, Carew. And finally taken by Casillas. Aymar, as I mentioned, wonderful season. Scored 4 times, but set up many others. Building again, Real Madrid. And just one time, another time, Rod, when they were hoping the ball would sit, would find a pool of water. Just a couple of inopportune times. They find it's pretty dry. Figo just unable to get onto it.
Yeah, it just slides away off the surface.
Wet Ruffetti. Little ball from Carlos. A little too cute as it turned out. Baraja. Not enough on it. Easy for Casillas. 20 minutes gone. No score here at the Santiago Bernabeu, but Real Madrid looking promising. And you just get the feeling that if the conditions were dry, that's well and truly offside.
Yep, coming back.
If the conditions were dry, there'd be every chance that Real Madrid could have had a goal or two by now. Real test this for Valencia, who are in the middle of a bit of a horror run in terms of big matches. They played Deportivo a fortnight ago before the break. Carew, a little too long for him, and in the way was the error. Yes, they played Deportivo. We covered that match. Graham Arnold was with us that day. And Valencia played very well, but Deportivo with that lone goal, as I mentioned earlier, enough for victory. So that didn't start things very well for Valencia. Real Madrid today, and they still have Sociedad, Barcelona and Mallorca in a couple of weeks to come, a few weeks to come. So a tough run for them.
It's a tough run, and you would think it's going to sort out their season.
Yes, Sociedad next week against Valencia. Sociedad, to this point, still unbeaten.
Yeah,
Coro Torres.
Surprise leaders.
Baraja, Aymar did well to bring it down, but Figo is there with him. Oh, well, Figo had the turn of speed, and he didn't need it again. The ball just stayed where he dropped it. Makaleli. Palop. These conditions, Rob, on one hand, it undermines the skill level, doesn't it? But on the other, I mean, the skill, you can never take away skill, can you?
No, you can't, but it's certainly, I mean, you see Figo and Ruffetti, who like those open spaces, who are dribblers. It does slow them down. With the water makes it very difficult for dribbling. But certainly does test your touch as well.
Figo, Zidane, Ronaldo, Raul! Oh, three of the big stars were there. And between them, they couldn't get a clean touch on it. And that's what I mentioned about something we don't have. Dry conditions, things may be a little different. Aymar, Ruffetti waits. Over the top he goes, too long for Carew. Poor ball in the end.
Yeah, I was trying to pick out Carew. So we see this chance here, Zidane getting the header in, beats Ronaldo. Palop does well to come out and smother Raul.
They will build again. Figo inside, Conceição.
Figo looking for the free kick. Got him behind Carboni. And dragging out Pellegrino where he doesn't want to be. Big central defender. And was there a tug there?
You be the judge, Rob.
This is definitely a bit of a pull. Certainly looked like he went down very easily. It's a foul. But a great position.
Especially for the left foot of Roberto Carlos. 26.2 metres as indicated. Midway through this first half that has been dominated in miserable conditions by Real Madrid. Not on the scoreboard though. Roberto Carlos. Oh, kept it low. Skidding it on its way out towards Palop.
And he'll be happy that went straight at him.
I mean, that's the other thing about these conditions. The ball can just sit and stop, but it can skid as well, and on that occasion it went very quickly. Offside again for Ronaldo. Not by a lot.
I think he might have just got it right though. He only needs to beat it once though. Valencia pushing up, playing the offside trap whenever they can. But they know that Ronaldo's got so much speed, he only needs to beat it once.
Fabio Aurelio's run down the left. As I mentioned, he moved forward. He was playing further back in defence in the absence of Carboni against Deportivo, but once Carboni was available again, he moved forward and is actually playing the position normally held by Vicente. And Vicente out of action here, so that's a loss for Valencia. Rafa Benitez, as we see once again that kick taken by Roberto Carlos a few moments ago. Zidane. Conceição. Just waiting for it was Roberto Carlos. Didn't go quite that wide. Raul, Ronaldo, Palop did well to attack the ball. In fact, he came out underneath one of his own teammates.
He was close. I thought Figo might have pulled the trigger himself. Tried to thread it through.
Oh, the header over the
Chance.
top. Chances coming thick and fast this time. Ronaldo's header.
Free header.
Just not controlling it really, keeping it down.
Carboni with the interception. See Figo trying to get it to Raul. It's too strong for him, but Ronaldo was coming in. But the header just after was a good chance, Mike. Should have hit the target.
Turned out not only high, but pretty well wide as well. But they really are playing like the team of superstars they are, aren't they? Even in these miserable conditions, they look all class.
They're certainly looking the more likely, aren't they? The more creative.
Just wonder how long this Valencia back four can keep out the superstars from Real Madrid.
This poor old Carew up there. Just not a very good ball into him. There was not much he could do with it. I was saying before, it's a difficult role for him. Thankless in some ways. He really needs Pablo Aimar to get closer to him, and that's where they miss Vicente on the left-hand side. The wide players for Valencia's system, very important. Ruffetti, today it's Aurelio, but the conditions not great for wing play, although Figo's not doing too bad. But I think he's got the drier side.
Ruffetti picks himself up, pat on the head from Pablo Aimar. Fabio Aurelio sending it in. I mentioned before about this this wealth of goals that Real Madrid have struck over the last 4 weeks. 15 goals, 5 against in 4 matches. It's been so entertaining. But on the other hand, Valencia, their scoring has dried up to a fair extent. They haven't been scoring too many. By the same token, they've conceded only 1 in their last 5 matches. That says a lot for the back four I spoke about. And they'll need to be totally on their guard for the full 90 minutes here as well.
Oh, it's too strong from Ronaldo. He had a simple ball just inside. He like to try and play the difficult one. And Raul was offside anyway. So the offside trap working at the moment for Valencia.
Carew interfering. And there is the face of the World Player of the Year. Zidane. Carlos.
Foot up from Mekaleli. Dangerous play.
It's the place to be on a day like today, isn't it?
They look nice and dry, don't they?
Yep. Get me another drink. All the way along the ground from Ayala.
Oh, how's your touch, Zidane?
He's looking in peak condition, isn't he? Now perhaps something. Carew. Oh, that's almost a shot in desperation, I would have thought. In frustration at really being denied chances. All the chances are coming at the other end. And it's often worth a shot from some distance, but
he was never right for it. His touch was too front on.
It was a standing start.
And his body position was all wrong. And that was the result. Some colourful raincoats as well on show.
Doesn't matter what it looks like as long as they keep dry. Good touch from Carlos. Over the top.
That's a dangerous tackle in these conditions.
Sure is.
I think it looked worse than it actually was. Albelda sliding in. That's where the conditions can be really dangerous, but it's a spectacular dive. But a soft landing.
Oh dear. This yellow card, second of the match. Neymar, just after the whistle.
He was lucky to get a free kick there. I didn't think it was a real clever ball from Carlos square. Conceição was caught. A little bit lucky to get away with that.
Around the corner, just a little wide again from Raul. He scored twice against Recreativo, twice also against Mallorca. Scored once against Malaga and Sevilla, so in red-hot form. Zidane. Oh, that's not far either.
Raul. Great ball in from Zidane. And you expected this one to be nestling in the back of the net. The right thing, going for that far post there. It's just gone the wrong side. Best chance so far.
And while I've been talking about this amazing goal-scoring form by Raul, perhaps you've got to look a little bit further than the likes of Zidane. With balls like that, it certainly helps create those chances.
No, it was a wonderful ball in. Picked him out. And there's a ball that skids away. Looking for a puddle. There was none there. So we see that supposed foul from Aymar on Conceição. I thought they were a bit lucky to get away with that. We see Zidane's cross. Raul. And he was absolutely gutted that he didn't score there.
Very close to his 7th in 5 matches. Belda, Curo Torres. The rain seems to have eased a little, but it's not going to help the playing surface. Aymar. Back it goes, Curo Torres. It was almost a lovely play. Aymar. does well. Oh, nice back pass, Baraja. Salgado.
Great feint from Miedo.
Zidane. The touch again, superb. Oh, Ronaldo! Here he is! Ronaldo!
Well, we haven't seen much of him, but what a pass from Zinedine Zidane. And that all started with Hierro at the back. What a magnificent goal.
Superb, and an embrace for his coach, Vicente Del Bosque, who, as we mentioned at the start, lost his mother just 24 hours ago. So an emotional time this for Vicente Del Bosque. And Ronaldo says, I hope this cheers you up. But what a goal. It certainly cheered up the soccer fans around the world, possibly even those who support Valencia. That was exceptional.
Outside of the foot, right foot pass from Zidane. Step over to start with there. Look at that for a pass. Ronaldo, it's all about his pace and power now. Goes past Palop and slots it home. Wonderful, wonderful goal.
His 6th in 11 matches now for Real Madrid. And this 25-year-old superstar in his debut season is really making his mark in the Spanish league. Aymar. At the other end, perhaps a chance of a response.
Certainly was.
Carbone.
Well, the offside trap was sprung, wasn't it? And as I said, as we said before, he only needs to beat it once.
Makelele. Zidane. Ronaldo. Ronaldo now is clutching his ankle, and I mentioned about that match against Sevilla. It was a bruising encounter. Not only was Salgado stretch it off, but Ronaldo.
Oh, that's a crude challenge from Pellegrino.
Ronaldo had his knee stomped on in that match against Sevilla by Javi Navarro, who was sent off.
Well, that was a horrible challenge. Nowhere near the ball, Pellegrino. And that's a painful one. And every time this happens, the world waits and watches. Ronaldo's had so many injury problems, and he finally seems to be over them after that great World Cup and now at Real Madrid. But he's up. Why wouldn't you be after that goal?
I don't think it was the knee that time. He was clutching somewhere around the shin or ankle.
Nice.
Let's have a look at this free kick, and then perhaps a slight discussion about that crunch on the knee he took a couple of days ago. This is a handy position once again. Carlos, the designated taker of these shots. Palop. Zidane. Carlos again hitting the post.
He has a smile, but it's all Real Madrid at the moment. Great strike from the free kick. Keeps it low, skidding off the surface. Good save from Palop. Then the ball came back in. Ronaldo lays it back. And that hits the corner. Right onto the top of the post there. So close to number 2.
We were speaking about the Ronaldo knee, but it must have worried everyone against Sevilla. Javi Navarro wouldn't have made too many friends stomping on the knee of Ronaldo, and not surprisingly sent off for that action. But
especially
thankfully,
so soon after Christmas, not very in the spirit.
No, I think that's a fair comment as well, Rob. Anyway, thankfully, no harm is done out there at the moment, apart from the score. As far as Valencia is concerned, Real Madrid with a Ronaldo goal scored in the 36th. Almost as well A Roberto Carlos goal, almost a Raul goal. Could easily have been 3-0.
Oh, certainly deserved the lead so far. Valencia found it very difficult to create much at all. As we see Carlos' shot onto the post, so close to being 2-0. Real Madrid clearly on top.
Carboni can't believe it. Figo.
It didn't look to be too much in it.
No.
The linesman was closer than us.
By a fair distance. Towards the far post. Zidane. Well, ball over the line before he made contact. There was the goal as well. Set up, the assist laid on there by Zidane and ultimately put away for goal number 6 for the season. Ronaldo.
No better sight in world football.
They're a fair combination, aren't they? Zidane feeding Ronaldo. Figo doing likewise, and if Ronaldo doesn't score, well, maybe it'll be Raul.
The team they've assembled here, quite incredible, really. It's a definite foul from Hierro. He gets a yellow card for it. Pablo Aimar skipping around him.
Pablo Aimar, incidentally, the subject of some speculation about a possible switch to Juventus and what would be a record move. But Valencia say he'll be staying. No one has enough money to buy him, says their chief executive, Manuel Llorente.
Apart from Real Madrid. But one of the new generation of Argentinians coming through, Pablo Aimar, Saviola at Barcelona, along with Riquelme, do produce some players.
Outstanding youngsters. Aimar at 22. They reckon the buyout clause, 90 million euros. No reduction, no bargaining. So he's not for sale. He will be staying.
Euros. What's the exchange rate at the moment for dollars?
I don't know, but it sounds a lot.
I think it's about double.
I think it's 2 to 1. 2 to 1. Yeah, it's not too far off the English pound, is it?
Cool, 180 million.
Yep. Over the wall and over the top. Casillas waves his arm up, but didn't really need to in the end.
Yeah, it wasn't convincing, was it, from Aurelio? Well, he never got a hold of that. Didn't hit it with any sort of confidence. And Casillas hasn't had a save to make.
No, it's been all at the other end. Palop has probably made a couple of saves, but a lot of those real chances that Real Madrid have had haven't necessarily caused him too much concern. They've been a touch wide, haven't they? They're certainly well and truly beaten by one, though. The Ronaldo goal. Not too far away from half-time here at the Bernabeu. Baraja, Rufete and Aimar. Aimar, well, a touch there.
Didn't
Not
get
too
any
much
power.
concern.
Didn't get any power behind it, but it's a good turn. They're certainly going to have a rethink at half-time, Valencia. Not really causing any problems at all.
Rufete.
Well, he's someone they need more in the game.
Carew, yeah. And Baraja as well, for that matter.
Yep.
Just stopping on the spot there for Figo.
Oh,
Oh, he's still got it. What skills. And then he let himself down
what a
with his
shame.
last touch.
he's actually managed to dribble through the puddles. And then the pass at the end of it was quite disappointing. Done
Yeah,
the hard part.
the stoppage time. Just, I think it indicated 1 minute. Nice ball again from Zidane. Carlos running onto his right, chips it with a left. Raul! Oh, how did that miss? It was so nearly 2-0.
Right on the stroke of half-time. What a time to score. Great little ball in from Roberto Carlos. Carboni there. Raul manages to get the shot away. Shielding. And there you thought 2-0 for sure. Wrong side of the post again.
Raul, perhaps more than anyone, has had scoring chances. Roberto Carlos, of course, hit the top of the post. That was the nearest. But boy, Raul will think he's a little unlucky not to have a goal by now. Half-time here. An entertaining half in very heavy going. But what a half it has been. Terrific play by Real Madrid. Wonderful goal set up by Zinedine Zidane. And as we have a look at what was almost the second goal, not quite. Perhaps after the break, there'll be more goals in this match. Terrific effort, though, as far as Real Madrid's concerned. Valencia struggling to keep in touch. And at half-time here, it's Real Madrid 1, leading Valencia 0. And welcome back to the Bernabeu with Real Madrid in front of Valencia. They lead by a goal after an entertaining yet drenching first half. So wet out there. No rain falling throughout half-time, which is good. But I think there's been plenty on the pitch to last for quite some time yet. As the second half is underway, and Robbie Slater, you mentioned a rethink needed for Valencia. I agree with that, but I guess the big problem is, how do you counter such dynamic stars, in particular Zinedine Zidane?
Well, I thought he was the standout player of the first half, Zidane, along with Figo. But you're right, you can have a rethink, but the thing is, when a team like Real Madrid's on song, it's very, very difficult to do anything about it. And you just basically have to hold them and hope you can create something on the break. That certainly didn't happen in the first half of Valencia.
So you're saying it's difficult to match attack with attack against a team like this. You just got to hold them out and hope to get the lucky break every now and again. Ronaldo, the scorer of the only goal of the match, chips it in the direction of Zidane.
Well, the trouble for Valencia is their wide men were very important to them. Ruffetti and today it's Aurelio have been doing defending. They've been back on top of their own fullbacks. Carboni on the left-hand side, Curo Torres on the right. Therefore in their own half, so very difficult to create something from there.
This is Makaleli. Wins it back, keeping the ball away from the sideline. Zidane, Ronaldo. And now they bring it out to Salgado. Figo. The attack breaking down. Roberto Carlos has been brilliant in the first half. Unlucky not to have scored himself. And Rafa Benitez with perhaps a headache or two.
You look at his bench. He's got Mister there, who could come on and play. Could go for the two up front. Maybe take one of those wide men off. Play two up front with Aymar in behind. But he doesn't do it very often.
Taken away from Ronaldo. Ayala. Ruffetti, as Robbie Slater mentioned, has done a lot of defending in this match. Baraja.
Haven't seen much of him either, Baraja.
Aurelio. Missing Vicente out left. And intended there for Aymar, but far too long for this little man with plenty of hair.
And plenty of talent.
The mop top. Plenty of talent, all right. He's probably been just about the best for Valencia in the first half. They're always trying to create, but not with enough support, really. Not only wet, but pretty cold in the middle of the Bernabeu. Now they're pushing it a little wider. Curo Torres. Rafete sends it back in his direction. Zidane just does as he likes with it. Carlos. All the way to Figo. Not easy under these conditions. The ball can so easily stop. Aymar can go back to Baraja. In fact, goes to Carew, but too long. And Casillas is brought into play for a rare occasion in this match. Zidane. And that's one of those occasions when it ended up with Figo, but it worked hard to get there. Palop. Ronaldo started this half doing quite a bit of running and just seems to have knocked up a little. We're right smack bang in the middle of the Spanish season. Some big matches to come next week for both these teams. Real Madrid away against Celta Vigo. That should be a ripper. And Valencia, a home match against the leaders, Real Sociedad. It doesn't get much easier. Well, and saying that, it's not getting any easier. Of course, it can get easier than playing Sociedad. Clever ball for Carlos. Well,
speculator.
That was.
Watch this pass here from Zidane. Great technique, great skill and awareness.
Yeah.
Pay to watch that.
As indeed Real Madrid paid when they signed him. And what was a fair amount of money then, but eclipsed with the Ronaldo signing. Just before Helguera ran onto it.
The old Cubans out up there.
Rafete. There we have it. Rafete was interfered with by Zidane. Baraja, Ayala, Carew all waiting. And it comes from Aymar. Off the head. Over the line.
That's what I think you could say is holding. Yeah, they're keeping a close eye on Carew.
Corner, haven't seen too many of them. It's at the far post.
He was flapping Casillas. Unfortunately for Valencia, no one there.
Aymar just keeps it in. Conceição does well, but it earned the ire of referee Zamorano. Let's have a look at this corner again. Helguera. So another handy position, and Valencia are getting a little bit of momentum going here at the moment. Just over the last 5 minutes, they've been pushing it down the right, now down the left. Free kick taken to the far post, and it goes! Ayala! It's 1-1. Ayala scoring his first goal of the season.
Well, well, well. Completely unmarked. It was a good free kick. Whipped in. Ayala pulling off Makaleli at the back there. Both left standing, both Helguera and Makaleli. And Ayala's just attacked the ball, and that's a great header.
It is a terrific header. And as I mentioned it, you just got the feeling they were not so much getting on top. I'm not suggesting that, but they were just getting more of the ball. And maybe Real Madrid had relaxed for 5 minutes or so, because that was the most sustained burst, if you like, that Valencia had all match. And ultimately, it ended up with Ayala's goal. 1-1. Match on.
Well, not surprised it came from a set piece. They hadn't created much in open play.
Carbonate and Palop. Well, that's given Real Madrid something to think about, because they were by far the dominant team in the first half and did much better than 1-0 indicates. But now it's back to 1-1, and they'll have to lift again.
Here we see it here. Both Makaleli and Helguera left standing. Ayala just attacked the ball, and Casillas, who hasn't had a save to make, pulls the ball out of the back of his net. First goal for Ayala.
And it's only his third in 69 matches, so he's not a renowned scorer by any means for Valencia. Zidane. Well, he was trying to thread it through. Makaleli. Well, still going, and ends up going down off the leg of Rafeta. Maybe Real Madrid have sensed the challenge and just starting to lift yet again. We must remember, though, that they did play only 3 days ago. Also, they're a relatively old team, a lot of experience in the team, but these heavy conditions, perhaps along with the Sevilla match, will make the second half going a little difficult for them. Baraja. Rafeta. Pushing it out wide. Coro Torres comes down. Just a little late, though. Carlos was there. Another chance being created. Baraja! Oh, he's fumbling and taking a blow, Casillas. Wasn't able to take it on the first grab.
So yeah, it was a good save as well. I think it was Aymar coming in there. Good strike and a good spell for Valencia. Rafeti laying it back.
And that's the problem, I think. It came from Aymar into the head.
He's taking a boot on the back of the head there.
And that's why he wasn't able to take it the second time. He had it initially.
Oh, it's a nice, brave goalkeeping. And he's all right.
Aymar's all right as well.
Probably got a sore foot.
Gets up with a smile. This man's not smiling, but he's okay to carry on. So a yellow card coming out for Pablo Aymar. No real intent in there by any means, but you must protect the player. Third yellow of the match. 1-1 the score here. Rafa Benitez will be feeling a little better now. Salgado with the throw. Conceição. Clearance from Aurelio. Not cleared terribly well though. Ayala was out there. It's going to be taken. The throw will go in the direction of Zidane. Ronaldo just waiting. Come on, Roberto, in my direction. Ronaldo still hasn't moved 1 centimetre from where he was stationed about 20 seconds ago. And that must be intimidating for the opposition to know that he's there. The ball comes anywhere within his vicinity. Look out. Raul, unlucky not to have scored at least once in the first half. But now in the 60th minute, Ronaldo has the only goal for Real Madrid. It's 1-1. Helguera into the back there of Carew.
Tell you, this is a good period for Valencia. It's a strike here from Albelda. That's not too far away.
They have been much more impressive in the second half, and I just wonder how much you can put that down to the fact that Real Madrid may have dropped off a little. Carew, Ayala's there, rather Aymar was there as well.
He's gone straight across. Turns here past Helguera. Carlos sliding in.
And I'm not
sure. He had a little ball there to Aymar.
Well, I'm not sure he was aware that Aymar was free. Decided to do it himself, but just that little centering ball. And they're on the attack again. Aymar this time. Always dangerous.
Great tackle. Conceição.
Real Madrid always ready for the counter-attack. Well,
I think that's offside. You can tell by the crowd reaction. So
possibly.
Close, isn't it? Yep. But Valencia doing a lot better. The first 15 minutes, 16 minutes of this second half, and we've seen a lot more of Baraja.
Doesn't agree with the linesman. I think the linesman may have just about been right, though.
Who'd be a linesman? Tough job.
Conceição. Oh, gee, the numbers are up against him, but Conceição did well. Finally lost it, but
I was wondering where he was going. And he's got a free kick out of it. Fell from Carboni.
Handy position again for Real Madrid. Pellegrino. Chip over the top, but towards the near post.
Disappointing free kick there.
It certainly didn't bring the Stars into play at all, did it? Figo just chipping it and curling it. Ended up with the ball back in his own direction. This is about the heaviest part of the whole pitch out there. Now, Aymar's involved. Oh, this is interesting. Pablo Aymar has copped a second yellow. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That is real problems for Valencia. Aymar with 2 yellow cards in the space of 6 minutes. Salgado is this time the victim. And as a result, exit Pablo Aymar.
Well, they can discuss and object about it, but the decision's been made. He's got to go. They don't change their mind. It's a shame.
It's a shame, all right. And now it's 11 against 10. And the favourites.
I think he's going for the ball there. I think that's a very harsh decision. There was no intent. And I don't think there was any intent on his last yellow card with the foul on Casillas. And you really do wonder. But certainly Valencia have been doing much better. Possibly on top in this second half. But now they're going to be up against it down to 10 men.
Real challenge now for the Valencia hierarchy. And you can understand Pablo Aymar. I think, to be fair, he accepted it pretty well in good grace. This is the first of the yellows.
Looks worse on the replay, but there was no intent there.
No.
And the second one, I think exactly the same. Very unfortunate, Aymar. He's having a good game as well.
Well, he was their main playmaker, really. Rafete, little push on Roberto Carlos. And now some real urgency in the way Roberto Carlos picked up the ball and threw it back in. Urgency in this Real Madrid side. I reckon they feel they've got Valencia on the ropes at the moment until they can settle into a 10-man rhythm. (1-1), 25 minutes remaining. Conceição, Salgado accepts the ball from Zidane. And now gives it back. Starting to build up. Clearance there from Ayala. Baraja, he will have to lift, accept a greater responsibility in the absence of Aymar. And surely from here, Valencia's purpose would be to keep it at 1-1.
Keep a point.
But they might find the going difficult. Ronaldo's loose. Deep. Still going. Ronaldo into the corner of the net, or the side of the net, I should say.
Well, he's a real striker, isn't he? From the time he picked up this ball, any other player could think about crossing it, not Ronaldo. All he can think about is getting a shot on top. He got the shot on, but way off target.
So 11 against 10, 1-1 in the 67th minute. Zidane continues to play an almighty game. Really in wonderful form as the 30-year-old Frenchman.
And he plays things so simple, doesn't he? Look how they just give him the ball.
Salgado. Looking ominous now at Real Madrid. Just holding onto the ball, pushing it around. Zidane! Oh, Zinedine Zidane! He deserved that. It's 2-1 to Real Madrid.
Well, certainly a big deflection, but Zidane made it really himself. Little flick here, Raul just leaves it for him in the big deflection off Pellegrino. But certainly Zidane's goal. Great touch outside of the left foot. Raul lays it back for him. 2-1.
You can't deny him that opportunity. The amount of work he's put in. It's been a sensational performance. The assist officially going to Raul. Zidane was the man who made the assist in the first goal, scored by Ronaldo. You just reel these names off the top of the tongue. Got to be the best club team in the world by a long way. And yet Real Sociedad are on top.
But they certainly seem to be getting ahead of steam up Real Madrid, don't they?
Well, they were disappointing at the start of the season, but I know we made comment of that several times, just how long it's going to take for things to gel. Just like last season when Zidane joined them. The word then from Vicente Del Bosque was don't panic. Let's see what Zidane can do in this team. And he was making the same sort of comments when Ronaldo joined a few weeks into this season. It's a long way to go in the season, and it'll take a brave man to suggest that Real Madrid won't find themselves eventually on top. Another yellow comes out. Pellegrino. They're a bit rattled, Valencia, now, having lost Pablo Aimar just 4 minutes ago. And as Robbie Slater suggested, you have to feel a little for him. Nothing too vicious in either of the tackles. But he found himself with 2 yellows, ultimately, of course, the red, and out he went. Now Pellegrino's not happy either. Off goes Carbone. First of the substitutions of the match, replaced by Mister. Well, that's an attacking move.
That's a brave one, isn't it?
The striker comes off, replacing the defender. You've got to hand it to Rafa Benitez.
Well, he has to. They're 2-1 down. These Pellegrino gets a yellow card for this. And he had a probably reason as well. A couple of metres. So all the advantage goes to the team who has the free kick. Being very pedantic, the referee.
Well, he's a man with some experience. His 5th season in the top division, Alfonso Zamorano, but he does seem to have been a little hasty on a couple of occasions in this match. Incidentally, the conditions seem to have improved since half-time. Perhaps they've had the super sopper out, or they've dried it up in some way. It's certainly far better than it was for the opening 30 minutes. Mister with his first touch. Still there for Carew.
Whoops.
The super stopper missed that bit.
He certainly did.
Figo almost missed it as well. Gives you an indication of the dominance of this team. 57% of possession. Raul
Looking for the free kick.
Yep. I think both teams now are becoming a little frustrated by the whistle. Just a little too much. It is a big occasion. Huge crowd here at the Bernabeu. And maybe Mr. Zamorano is still feeling the nerves.
See that save from Casillas. He needed to be up as well because Carew was lurking. Well, they're certainly getting their money's worth. Seeing getting a wonderful display, particularly from Zidane. Here he is again.
So Valencia conceding a couple of goals already in this match. And that's the first time they've conceded 2 since they split the points with Malaga back in the early part of the season. So they've defended very well, Valencia, throughout, and it's a classic case of one of the best attacking teams up against one of the best defending teams. And this occasion, the attacking team has got the points.
For the moment, that's for sure. But Valencia, another set piece. Can they pull one back? An unlikely one.
Carew at the far post. Mister.
Oh, it's so nearly dropped for him.
Been awkward on occasions there for Casillas, but he's kept well. Figo.
Figo's been quite a second half, but there's one reason why, and it's called a big puddle. The worst side he's playing on. Here he's in a better spot.
Yep, that's better for Figo. Chipping it long. Raul was there. Roberto Carlos tries to keep it in.
It was a nice ball to the second post, but unfortunately for Figo and Real Madrid, there was no one there. As we see this free kick again, and Mister just wouldn't drop for him. As we see again, Hierro holding Carew.
Hasn't been able to get into the game at all, Carew. Another substitution. Rafeta goes off. Marchena comes on.
It's the quietest I've ever seen Rafeta. Conditions not really suiting him now.
Marchena coming on as a sub for the 3rd time this season. Rarely finding himself on the bench. He's been starting on most occasions. Figo. Pellegrino. Well, they don't want to fiddle around with Figo lurking. Down a man. Real Madrid leading by a goal, and just occasionally in this second half they've had lapses of concentration. It cost them 1 goal. And with this slight margin, they want to keep the pressure on, don't they? Salgado. He's played well, Roberto Carlos, today.
Certainly has.
He's been one player who hasn't really been affected too much by the conditions. At least it seems that way. And he's still running with plenty of power.
He's got so much energy. Up and down all game, Carlos. Every game you see him, you always get the same. But I mean, you talk about Real Madrid and the amount of superstars in this team, and you really have to give credit to Del Bosque. They all work for each other, play very well, very well balanced. Sometimes it's not possible with so many big players in a team to create harmony.
Backing back was Casillas, and I think he was pleased to see he wasn't quite sure where that flight was taking the ball. Still plenty of time left for Valencia to try to find an equaliser, but they're down a man. Have brought on the extra striker.
Oh. Sounds like the house is falling down. Oh, there it is.
All is well in the stands, apparently.
You never know these days, do you? Flares are outlawed. Figo
again. Just the the pace has gone out of Figo's game. There's no doubt about that. But as you mentioned, Robbie is playing in a difficult area of the pitch. Not so with Carlos. Now Salgado. Machena back there defending, along with Fabio Aurelio. And this time the water not enough to hold up the ball ahead of Aurelio.
Watch this for a piece of skill. Albelda thought he was going the other way, flicks his foot around and goes the other way. Looks easy. Do it in a match like this.
First of the Real Madrid substitutions. Ronaldo makes way. He never has a huge workload, does he? But what he does, like that, he makes count. And I'm sure Vicente Del Bosque would have appreciated the gesture as well. So Guti comes on. Ronaldo goes off. And Guti, who finds it difficult to get a start, comes on as a substitute for the seventh occasion. Helguera with him. Carew right over the top towards the far post, and no one was waiting. Lacking the support now of Pablo Aimar.
Unfortunately, crosses like that, you want him on the end of them, so he can't do both. It was a decent enough cross.
Push there on Albelda. There it is. Well, it was more than a push. He thought it was a little nudge with the knee as well. That's why he wasn't too happy with Zinedine Zidane.
I thought it was...
In fact, it was more than a nudge, I'd say.
A bit of a knee.
Yeah.
Very un-Zidane-like. But a definite foul. But that's the quality of Zidane. He's not only a playmaker, and Albelda can see the funny side of it now. He's certainly not a dirty player, but can mix it and defends. Although he didn't defend very well there. He's given a free kick away in a very dangerous position.
Looks like Baraja might take it. Four in the wall, including Guti, who has just come into the play. Now 5, and it goes into one of those 5. Makaleli. That's one on Baraja this time, as we have a look at that free kick taken straight into Guti. Welcome to the Bernabeu. The back was Machena. Didn't get close enough to him to cause any concern as far as Casillas was concerned. Really, Carew just being forced to do too much work up there at the moment without support. Didn't get much of a look in the first half. In the second, well, he's lost his main playmaker there in Pablo Aimar, and we're going to see another switch made by Benitez. Juan Sanchez coming on, replacing David Albelda. Again, more firepower up front. Sanchez yet to score this season, but he's scored over 60 goals in the 270-odd games he's played.
Well, it'd be a good time to get one now. He's throwing on all the attackers.
Expensive legs, those.
There's a lot of expensive legs out there.
Yeah. You'd like to see the insurance policies for this team, wouldn't you? Far post, up it goes, fisted down or palmed down by Casillas. Well, Valencia just having a bit of a purple patch again. And is it because they've lifted, or have Real Madrid dropped off the pace again? We saw it cost them a goal earlier.
Well, they have looked dangerous, but it's all been from set pieces mostly. And there, Mister might be disappointed as Figo doesn't get the free kick. Mister might be disappointed he didn't score there.
I reckon tiredness is starting to play a part in Real Madrid's game. Coming off the match 3 days ago, still with most of the possession.
But plus with a heavy pitch as well.
Yep. They obviously think 2-1, that's good enough, just as they seem to be travelling at 1-0. But when one goal only is the lead, it doesn't take much to turn things around. Marchena with a problem now. He's been out there only 7 or 8 minutes, having taken the place of Raffete.
Just had a bit of a collision there. Certainly no intent. Carlos playing the ball.
Carlos, I'd suggest, was probably there first.
That certainly did look like a foul from Ayala on Senor Figo.
Makaleli holding his ground. Figo getting plenty of the ball, but he's not doing too much running, is he? Now, Conceição. Salgado. Salgado to the far post. Palop, who is, as we mentioned earlier, filling in. He's doing a pretty reasonable job in the absence of Canizares. Canizares is now fit and perhaps will resume soon. Through the midfield. Real Madrid again. No whistle. Carlos. Around the corner. Goal! Gotti has scored. And Carlos's efforts down the left side, which have been enormous all match, have been rewarded. It's now 3-1, and Gotti, the substitute, comes on and scores for the 3rd time this season.
Well, it was a good finish. Carlos again doing the work down the left-hand side. Here's where it started from. Carew thinking he should have had a free kick, and that's where it started. But Guti, who could have missed the match, he's had a throat infection. But he'll be glad that he didn't pull out, because he's got himself on the score sheet. What an impact.
Well, that has surely put the issue beyond doubt now. Mind you, Real Madrid have had some exciting encounters over recent weeks. Twice they've come from 2-0 down to win. Now they lead by 2. And you'd think that with only a matter of 3 or 4 minutes remaining before stoppage time, that'd just about be enough. Another switch made. Makaleli off. Cambiasso on. I know Cambiasso has impressed you, Rob, in the earlier matches we saw this season.
Yeah, certainly been a revelation for Real Madrid. And Del Bosque maybe just giving him a rest now. He's only young.
Yes, so Makaleli making his way.
Another good game from Makaleli, one of the unsung heroes for Real Madrid, along with Conceição doing a mountain of work in the middle of the park.
Surely 3 points coming up now for Real Madrid. They have been hard-earned under these conditions. They've entertained the home crowd here of 77,000 at the Santiago Bernabeu. In fact, that was Baraja.
I thought he got the ball. Cambiaso.
Baraja's form perhaps hasn't quite lived up to expectations this season after finishing last year so well and playing such a pivotal role in Valencia taking out the championship. He scored, what, 7 goals in 17 games. Hasn't had that role expected of him here. Palop, crowd could sense number 4. Conceição's worked hard throughout this match. He in fact scored against Sevilla a few days ago. And now another substitution. Raul, whose scoring run comes to an end, but oh so close he was in the first half. He's been replaced by Javier Portillo, who made his debut in round 5 in the win over Alaves. He started that match, but now he comes on for only his 3rd appearance, 2nd as a substitute. 3-1 the score as the seconds start to tick away. So I've been quite surprised at the amount of water this pitch has been carrying. In the first half there was a fair bit of rain, but perhaps the drainage not quite what it could be. It's not a bad ball that went in from Marchena. 3 minutes remaining. Carlos again.
It's an important win for Real Madrid.
You know,
one of their challenges.
And it's going to be a significant defeat for Valencia, who are in the middle of this very tough run of matches, having dropped the points against Deportivo. And certainly they will drop the points here with only a couple of minutes play remaining. And then next week they have the leaders Sociedad, followed by Barcelona and Malaga not too far after that. In fact, those matches coming up in 3 of the next 4 weeks. So it's a tough old run for Valencia, and they really need to get points over the next couple of weeks. They did most of the attacking in the first half, Real Madrid, and they're finishing the match the way they started. Figo, Cambiaso pushing it further wide. Well, they're toying with them at the moment, aren't they? Figo. And a lusty clearance. Pellegrino. It'll come back though. Some very tired players out there. But look who's running still. Carlos, who set up the last goal.
I think that was a crowd whistle.
It sounded like it, because the man in black is showing no indication of holding up play. Zidane, cool as a cucumber, and now Portillo. Oh my goodness, it's number 4 and the 2nd assist of the match for Zinedine Zidane. What a match. He scored 1 and set up 2, and Real Madrid have 4.
Well, that was quite simply world class. from Zinedine Zidane. You won't see a better run from midfield this year. Turns Mister, goes past Baraja. And what about this for a pass? Another step over, and Portillo finishes it off. And that run deserved finishing off.
Well, it just goes to show the strength of this Real Madrid team, with Vicente Del Bosque calling on substitutes. First of all, it was Guti who scored. As we have another look at Zinedine Zidane, that was sensational. Really very, very special. But Guti came on to replace Ronaldo, said thank you for the opportunity. He scored. Now Portillo came on to replace Raul just a few moments ago. And he has done likewise for his first goal in his debut season. Terrific performance by Javier Portillo, and in particular by the man who gave him the ball, Zinedine Zidane.
Portillo is the name on the score sheet, but don't be misled. That goal is signed by Zidane. What a performance from, well, I think, and arguably the world's best player, Zinedine Zidane. What a pleasure.
Amazing performance. Zinedine Zidane approached for a comment, perhaps. Why not? It's been a fantastic performance by him. And this team of superstars continues to go from strength to strength. They are just looking so very impressive the longer this season goes on. Making their way up the table. And who's to say they won't be at the very top by the end of the season? There's the last goal. Terrific effort. Final score here. It's 4-1 to Real Madrid.